What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how quarterbacks can get a quicker release. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this clip here from a quarterback who has a very, very long release where he drops the ball low. He has a long stride, and we're going to talk about how he can quicken it up. And then we're going to take a look at some of Bryce Young's film and talk about why he has such a quick release and some of the key similarities and main differences between the two throwing motions. So I hope this helps you guys out. If you guys have any kind of video feedback or content you'd like to see next, don't hesitate to leave those suggestions in the comment section below. We always appreciate it. Let's get started with this video. So there are three things that really are going to make you have a long release, and that's going to be a load up with the ball, loading on your back leg, a long front stride, and lack of hip rotation. Those are the three things that we want to focus on, okay? So now what this quarterback does right here is you see how he's holding this ball in the pocket. Looks like a pretty good position to be in, right? Not a bad base. Back foot's got some weight on it. He's very relaxed with his upper half. But the thing that kills a lot of quarterbacks is that this is not a position that they're comfortable throwing from, right? So what they like to do is play this thing full speed. They like to raise, load the ball, drop the ball low. The front stride takes forever to get down, and that affects that release time. So anytime that you go from here and you load the ball up by your ear, if you do this, that is wasted motion. You are loading up on the back leg, you're loading up with the ball, and that just takes too much dang time, right? Because again, in college, you guys are learning this. Maybe in high school, you could get away with this a little bit more. And I was a guy who had the exact same problem. I like to load the ball up because nobody ever corrected me on stuff like this till I got much older, is that these throwing windows, like let's say this is a throwing window, for example, that might be the size of the throwing window in high school, and college cut that in half. It is a very, very tight window. So you have to have little to no wasted motion back here. Obviously, we want to shoot for no wasted motion. So you lifting the ball up like this is not good. Now, not only the fact that when you bring the ball up by your ear, you're very tense, I would just rather have you, if you're going to go through progressions in the pocket, already have it there. I'd rather have you hold the ball there than have to raise it up if you're not comfortable holding the ball low. Again, I would much rather have you be able to just rotate from this position because that is how quick your release needs to be. But the second you raise the ball up and lift the ball up high, the release time just gets so much longer. And you see how he loads up on the back leg. That's an indicator that you're throwing the ball. And what if this read is not open? Then you have to come off to another read. So you're going to load up. Oh, it's not there. Relax. Oh, load up again. That just takes too much dang time. Now, the reason why his release is extremely long is because it takes forever to get that front stride down. So you see how he's in a great position to throw. Back legs under his frame. He transfers his weight, but that front foot takes forever to get down. And when that front foot gets down, it's already like the longer your front foot takes to get down, the longer the arm time is going to be, like the longer the arm path is. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that your release is going to be fast by getting the front foot down, but it certainly can allow you to have a faster release by engaging your hips. But the longer it takes for this front stride to get down, that's what makes the release time much longer. So we have to focus on getting the front foot down fast. Now, anybody can say that. Anybody can say, hey, you're overstriding. You got to get rid of the overstride. But how do you actually fix the overstride? And you want to stop thinking like a pitcher in terms of your back foot and your back leg, and you want to think more like a quarterback. So what does that mean? Now, before I explain that, fellas, we are going to be traveling out to 6 different states this offseason for 2-day long quarterback and wide receiver training camp. So if you guys are local to the Atlanta, Georgia area, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, or Los Angeles, California area, and you want to come out and get some great work in with us this year, check out that very first link in the description below, you guys. It's a 2-day camp, 4 hours each day. So it is a lot of reps, a lot of training. And again, I know a lot of people think that with camps, oh, there's going to be a million kids out there. It's not worth it. We aren't doing that. We're limiting spots to only 10 to 12 guys per position group for that specific reason. We actually want to coach you guys and help you guys out. If you've seen clips from our training, you see me explaining a lot of things, the guys talking about, guys, that's what it is for 8 hours, right? Because it's 4 hours each day. So if this is something you feel like you get a lot of benefit from and you're local to one of those areas or would like to travel out, check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. We'd absolutely love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. Let's get back to this video. So now, how do we fix that overstride, right? So a lot of quarterbacks think that, oh, I want to push off of my back foot. And that is a very, and I've actually used that terminology before. But this is the problem that I found with a lot of guys, is that I never meant push and push at the target. I meant kind of like a push and a rotation combined. But again, certain terminology doesn't necessarily process for everybody, right? That's what makes a good coach. They're able to switch up their terminology. They're able to switch up the way of explaining things so their guys understand. So if you guys constantly are overstriding, maybe stop thinking about pushing off the back foot and think about maybe pushing off your back quad or your back leg, because all we need to do is shift my weight through. When you watch guys like Tom Brady throw or Bryce Young, who we're going to take a look at in a second, that weight, it's like a very, very tiny stride, and it's just like a shift. They take that weight that's on their back leg and they just shift it forward, because that weight shift, your front foot has to get down. If you have 70% of weight on your back leg, like he does right here, and you just simply just shift it forward, your weight will get to your front foot and your hips will start to naturally transfer through. But when you push like a pitcher, all it does is that when that front foot gets down like so, you see how his base is very wide. And again, the longer it takes for the foot to get down, the longer the arm path is going to be, because the front foot getting down quick will kind of force you to have a quicker arm slot or a quicker arm rotation if your hips are going through. So just make sure, fellas, that we do not push off the back foot. It is not a elongated stride. It is a quick stride, because you are just simply shifting your weight. So if you could just shift your weight through, that will help you engage your hips. Now, another thing is that when you push off of your back leg and the front foot goes forever, you see how your front hip, like his front leg, kind of that front hip right there locks out. So what ends up happening is that he dips out of there with his head. He's swinging the elbow, his front elbow down to get power, because there's no hip rotation and that back leg is trailing behind, right? So we have to make sure, fellas, to get a quicker release, we cannot load up on the ball. We cannot push off the back foot and have that long stride. We have to shift my weight, get my hips to rotate through, because that's what creates a faster arm speed and will get you more velocity on the ball, obviously, as well. Like, you look at guys like, a lot of people say like, oh, don't drop the ball this low. And it looks a little funky because his arms extend. But when you watch Patrick Mahomes throw or Kyler Murray throw, they are dropping the ball just as low as him. Here's the difference, though. They have so much hip rotation, so much weight transfer, so their arm speed is faster, so it doesn't make a huge difference. Now, again, as a quarterback coach, if I have a quarterback and I'm coaching this guy up, I'm going to tell him not to drop the ball that low. I think not everybody can throw the ball like Mahomes or Kyler Murray, but that's not him lifting the ball up higher is not going to make his arm faster, if that makes any sense. Like, it might shorten up the motion, but if he still has a long stride, that arm is still going to extend back. He's not going to have any speed with the rotation, and the release time is going to be the exact same. What will make his release faster and what will get the ball out of his hands quicker in this case is not lifting the ball up, already having weight on his back leg, and getting the front foot down. The front foot getting down quicker will also correct the long release naturally, okay? So I'm going to play this thing full speed, and then we're going to take a look at this clip here from Bryce Young, okay? So just make sure, fellas, that we are emphasizing those key mechanical points, okay? So now let's watch Bryce Young make this throw. You see how he just is able to throw right from where he's holding that ball. That is what I'm trying to get you guys to do, right? So look at where he's dropping back. Look where he's holding this ball. Holding that ball at the middle of his chest. A lot of people critique him because they say he drops the ball very low in his pre-throw position. But again, same thing. I'd much rather have you be relaxed and not load the ball up than have you hold the ball up higher and be super tense and have all this wasted motion. So you see when he goes to throw, right? That ball does not move. He just is able to go from here, tap the ball with his front hand. I have no problem with that, but there's no load up. He does not lift the ball. And you see how he doesn't dip down on the back leg. He hitches up, and that back leg already has weight on it. He's already in a position to throw. That's how you get rid of wasted motion, fellas. You having that ball right there and you having weight on your back leg originally and thinking about just shifting your weight is what makes the ball come out of your hands faster, fellas. When you guys have to load up, when you guys have to lift the ball, when you guys stand in the pocket like a pencil and have to dip down on the back leg, that is motion you do not need, and that is what makes your release slower. It is not about the arm speed that's going to make that part of your release slow, right? Obviously, the arm speed helps, and we want to think about weight transfer and things like that, and we'll get to that. But do not lift the ball. Do not load up. That is wasted motion. We want to be preloaded on this back foot and preloaded with my ball carriage so I get this ball at any time. You watch the best guys go through progressions. They never load. They never hitch. They're able to just sit there and get the ball out of their hands. Now, let's look at his front stride. So you see when he goes to hitch here, front stride is very quick. And you see his back leg is under his frame. It does not look like he pushes one time off of that back foot. It looks like a shift. It looks like he's shifting his weight right here. The weight is getting to the front foot. You see how his front hip is able to open up. That last quarterback never got to this position because that front foot was way out where this second circle is. And so that hip is going to lock out and extend. So he's going to be using his upper half, which in turn will elongate the motion. But when that front foot gets down and those hips start to rotate through, guess what? That starts to bring the ball through. When the hips start to rotate through, that's what brings the ball through. And that's what quickens up the arm speed, fellas. And that is what will get your release faster. So make sure, fellas, we are in a pre-loaded position to throw. We are not loading up on the throw. We have a good weight transfer. We are shifting weight, not pushing, so the stride can get down quick, your hips can engage in the throw, and your arm speed can be much faster. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Bryce Young, having this nice, smooth, quick release, which is why he will probably be a top pick in the draft next year. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any kind of questions on any of the things that we covered in this video, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you're local to one of these 6 states that we are traveling out to this offseason, we're coming to Atlanta, Columbus, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles. Check out that very first link in the description below. Spots are limited, fellas. Our Atlanta and Columbus and Chicago camp are almost completely sold out. So we'd love to have you out to one of our off-season camps and help you guys improve your skills. Very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.